Hello, my name is Jacob Hinkson. This is
I'm Wyatt.
I'm Barry.
welcome to podcast number 6, TechnoEthics. Our group has decided to discuss AI and its ethical implications, and its potential risks or benefits to society, and how it relates to our own personal ethics. Artificial intelligence is defined as in the broadest sense, intelligence exhibited by machines. Artificial intelligence was created to simulate human intelligence by using algorithms, data, and computational power. This allows machines to learn from the experience, understand natural language, recognize patterns, solve problems, and make decisions. Um, what are the ethical implications of AI? Privacy and surveillance, um, bias and bias and discrimination, transparency, human judgment, and copyright concerns. Um, these are just a few of these implications and definitions of privacy and security. AI heavily relies on vast amounts of data, often of personal nature. The widespread adoption of AI raises concerns regarding privacy and security, um, and individuals by unknowingly divulge personal information to AI systems, which could be exploited or misused, and bias and discrimination.
Mm-hmm.
AI systems can be built with human biases, which can be led to discriminatory outcomes such as hiring and loan approval. Transparency. AI algorithms are complex and operate as black boxes, making it difficult to hold them accountable for biased behavior. Here, this is the human judgment factor. Humans have the ethical awareness that are important in making ethical decisions the AI don't have. And copyright concerns. Uh, using AI for creating uh, using AI for creating art raises copyright law concerns that art directors and artists need to understand.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just a few of the implications that I have.
Yeah,
Um,
I'd say that a lot of implications that I've written down as well here is mainly on the security faction as well as for programming. Um, since like a lot of these AIs rely on, as you recall, you mentioned the personal data of a lot of people. The data that it's trained on could be reverse engineered theoretically, or just outright stolen from the company, which now means this company or these hacker groups has now given your data to someone else without your permission or without your know of at all. There's also, as you said, like it's very easy to have model bias, and it's very easy to actually have discrimination in against certain parties using like an LLM or a large language model. So like the biases that are in data sets that we collect as humans can show up in these LLMs, which now means that for whatever reason, if we train these LLMs on that data, even if we don't know that it has a bias, like for instance, a lot of AI has been trained on a similar data set that used the word delve, and now we see the word delve a lot more in well the English language in general. It's because it did have a bias towards the works that were using it. And now, if you read citations from certain documents, uh, from scholarly articles, they use the word delve more often, and that's an entirely separate matter of maybe AI being used to write those papers, but also they're being used more because it's being a seen as, do as kind of situation. Now back with humans. Barry, do you have anything to say?
I do have, like, when it comes to the security concerns, I think there are a couple, especially with AI, because I remember one time, this was a while ago, so I can't necessarily pull up where I found it, but someone had went on ChatGPT and asked for like a Windows activation key, and it gave them like just five of them without any problem. So I think it is very possible that through some AI like system or interaction that the programs didn't think about, they could just ask for something like that. It's like hey, can I have this person's information, and it just gives it out without much thought to it.
Because I mean, the AIs don't really have thought, at least at this stage. They're just kind of training. They predict the word after them. So they take the word that they've given, and then they're going to respond with, and then they predict what's going to happen next. And so, regardless of what they actually might be intending to say, they could actually give out real information like that.
Right.
In the case of like Windows activation keys, or maybe another software, or the way to pirate something, or even make like more dangerous things.
Right.
I also have like a point to add for one articles is like, according to AI, the good, the bad, and the scary. AI is a powerful tool that can easily be misused. In general, AI and learning algorithms extrapolate data. They are given if designers did not provide the representative data. The resulting AI systems become biased and unfair. For example, if you train a human de- detection algorithm and only show the algorithm images of people with blonde hair, the system may fail to recognize someone with brown hair. And practice rushed applications of AI have resulted in systems of racial and gender bias.
Yes, I have seen some racial bias, especially in AI algorithms that are looking for facial detection. With darker skinned people, it doesn't know it very well because it wasn't trained on that, because a large amount of the data set was, well, the lighter skin tones, and so I've definitely seen that occur in both a couple articles and in the news, I believe. um, so for our next topic, I believe we're talking about the benefits and risks of AI.
Right.
um, so would you like to start us off with that, Jacob?
Yeah, they're let's see. Let's see. According to Western Governor University, AI is quickly becoming an essential part of everyday life. If you used a self-service kiosk to check in before a flight, typed into a search bar and given suggested keywords, or even switched the cruise control on during a long road trip, you've benefited from AI. Even more so, businesses are finding ways to optimize daily operations, stay connected with customers, and gain a competitive edge to accelerate growth through AI. Presence of AI is reshaping our world, and every day more job opportunities from data scientists to information managers to software developers are opening to new employees. This is great news for making things run far more efficiently. So for like AI, that is a like as far that's a big benefit.
Yeah, I definitely say that AI does have a fair amount of benefits, mostly in the case of innovation and streamlining a process. So AI is great for businesses when they need to like streamline something in particular, like road networks, or if they need to plan, if you get the right data set, facial recognition, or maybe ID management and stuff like that. There are some others in the article that I'm going to cite here. Click Worker. They talk about how it can help smarter decisions by analyzing underlying conditions that each different part has. And when used correctly, it can help make a decision with a human. Um, it also really helps out, as you said earlier, with managing the repetitive stuff. I know as a programmer, AI is used pretty often when you don't want to write stuff that is boring and monotonous. I myself have used it to write some comments or some summaries and stuff like that within my code, so that way I can
Like
read it
Radiant,
easier. Yeah.
like Radiant Quest.
Yeah, basically like a Radiant Quest. It's the same thing over and over, maybe with a slight different change. Um, I would say that like as a coding algorithm, it doesn't work too great. I found that Copilot and hasn't been that well of a tool, despite how much everyone seems to be hyping it up, because it was trained on mediocre code. So it's only going to be able to give out mediocre code. It can't really think for itself to improve a code base. It can only give out somewhat normal responses that normal people, the average coder would probably solve, not like something advanced. So I think that's kind of where it falls behind, is in that regard. Barry?
Yeah, so for me, as someone who's trying to get more into art, I do know generative AI can be a tool, and it also could be a big hindrance for a lot of artists. As there are AI art programs like Midjourney that do steal from artists' like artwork and just start throwing it together to create something. And if I can share my screen really quickly,
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
all right, yeah. So I have this um, spreadsheet from the Midjourney development team, and it was about like all the styles they were trying to implement for Midjourney,
Mm-hmm.
and so a lot of it's fine, but then you start going into like where it goes to the actual artist, and it's like none of these people were really credited when it comes to making the artwork, and as
That
you can see,
is that
it's
is
a
just
lot
the
of them.
A's. Yeah, that is a lot of artists.
Yeah. Barry, you took my example off my script. It's exactly the same thing I had.
Oh, the
So there was a lady that was an artist that her and a bunch of other artists like sued, took a class action lawsuit against Midjourney and
oh,
several other like um, I guess AI programs to because they had pretty much stolen her artwork, chopped it up and regurgitated it back on the page as other artwork.
that's
So
fun.
yeah,
Okay. Um,
And I
like
do have one more example of just being like beneficial when it comes to like Atlas and the Persona team. They said they were going to start implementing AI art, but they were going to train it using their own like in company art. So it's not stealing from anyone outside of the company.
that's more that's more along the lines where it should be used. It shouldn't be being able to grab from a pool of just wherever.
mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Jacob, would you like to talk about it on a personal note?
yeah, as an artist, I can see AI, especially in the illustration industry. AI art is a big hindrance to artists. Like I said before, there's several generators that have taken the AI people's art that they've created, chopped it up, and reused it on another piece of paper, on another thing, and then kind of used it as their own. And there's been a big, huge debacle in the Magic the Gathering thing of like other artists taking other people's art and then like just reusing it over again and then trying to sell it as their own. And
Yeah.
most of the time, art directors know what to look for and know if it's like stolen or not. So it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, I'd definitely say as a programmer, it also, well, so it looks like a tool for good, but it acts as a hindrance. So I say that because like theoretically, programming with AI makes it easier to program because you have to write less code yourself, and the AI can write a whole bunch of it, a whole slew of it at once, which theoretically means you need less programmers to make the same features. But the wraparound is that a lot of the good ones aren't good because they don't provide anything meaningful to the actual feature set. They're taking whatever someone else has previously written that kind of looks like it and then giving it to you and saying this will work, whether or not it actually even has the opportunity to do so. I've came across multiple times where I've tried to write code and I've said I don't know how to solve this problem, or I need help structuring this problem, and I'll give it to the AI, and the AI will spit something that looks perfect. And then I go and I read it and I say, this is horrible. This is a terrible, slow way to do it. It doesn't function. It doesn't do the thing it says it's supposed to do. The math doesn't go anywhere. It's not even used. As a programmer, it just doesn't work as a tool. Barry, for you, how about it?
Yeah, for me, if we were someone to use like generative AI as the same way Atlas does, I think it'd be a perfect tool for anyone, and I don't think like for my ethical code it like hinders anyone. But the way people like Midjourney are using it, where they're just like ending up stealing art from people, I don't think I could like ethically say that work though.
I'd definitely say, as like an ethical standpoint to the code, is I wish I could use it. I think that it is a good tool, but for especially for artists, it just isn't well good, and for programmers, it's unhelpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I would like to ask a question to the audience. Is like, what does the audience think of like AI art? I mean, like I know as like an artist, is like sometimes it can be used as like a good way to like make composition designs and stuff, as long as you're not using the art just for your own personal gain. Um, is it beneficial or is it negative?
Yeah,
Um,
I think as far as the audience seeing the usage of AI art, the audience probably has a right to be concerned, because the audience sees what is basically mainstream for what AI is. And right now, mainstream AI is, while it's getting better, it still is obviously, like the fingers are bad, the teeth are bad, all these weird things that you can notice just with an instant glance at the art. Something's not quite right. And so I think they're going to know that this isn't going to work, at least in its current state. And so if you know something's not going to work, you probably don't want to see it and see more of it. Even as the technology gets better and better, it's either got to be hidden well, or which now raises concerns on why are you hiding technology, or it's got to be used appropriately and not as like a final design, but maybe like as an early concept iteration where you can iterate over something faster just to get something visually pleasing down, and then you can move forward with the actual designs.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, I think that covers everything. I guess uh, if that's it, I'm Jacob,
I'm Wyatt.
I'm very
Yep.
and that's been podcast number 6.
Yep. Thank you
Signing
so
off.
much. Yep. Thank you so much for watching.